As we go into leading up about a person, I will try to speak from my understanding of this. And it's not meant to fill anybody's head with more concepts. This is pointing at something deeper than the words and the analytical mind. We like to think of each other as separate things interacting, like separate islands, you could say. Whereas in reality, we might be more like waves in the same ocean. And that ocean is the oneness we are all belonging to, even though it might not always seem like that. And I'm going to do a release based on a procedure that was when Lester Levinson, you see the originator of releasing, which is on the picture here, wonderful person. When he was alive, this procedure was introduced for coaches and facilitators. When they had been releasing with a person, where they had been facilitating with a person, for them to clean up whatever might have get stirred up in them. Like we're all humans and we all can get stirred up by each other. So this procedure was always done after a facilitation. And then it was released for everyone, thankfully. And I will do my own version, my own free-flowing version of this with some additions. So you can see if you can find a person that you want to better your relationship with. And if you feel courageous, especially if you're more experienced, you can pick a very difficult relationship. And would also advise you could pick somebody you really need to clean up your relationship with. Someone that plays a role in your life, for good or for bad. It doesn't have to be a problematic relationship. It could be somebody you're in love with or fond of or anything. So just picture this person or focus on this person. And first we're going to do something called finding agreements. You can even do this procedure on yourself, by the way, or on a thing, if that is needed. So could you find something you like about this person? And just feel into that. I mean, even if you dislike this person very much, it might be some things you could pick that you actually like about them. So feel into that and check and see if that is wanting approval, wanting control, or wanting safety. One will be predominant. And could you let go of wanting approval, wanting control, or wanting safety? And check and see if there's anything else you like about this person. And allow yourself to feel into that. And is that wanting approval, wanting control, or wanting safety? And could you let that go? Check and see if you can find another thing you like about this person. And is that wanting approval, wanting control, or wanting safety? And could you just let that go? And one last time, check and see if there's anything you can find that you like about this person. And is that wanting approval, wanting control, or wanting safety? And could you very gently let that go? And check and see if there's any sense of, or any sense that this person wanted to control you, or if it seemed like that. So is that what seems to be happening? And that sense of somebody else wanting to control you, someone else, might be creating resistance in you. But that's what happens when somebody wants to control you. You experience resistance. So feel into that resistance. And could you let go of that resistance? And check and see if you want to control that person or change that person. And again, you can remind yourself that wanting is lacking. So could you let go of wanting to control that person? And just allow yourself to feel into the release. Allow that to leave you as best you can. And again, I can see if that person wants to control you or it feels like that. Is that what seems to be happening? And could you let go of wanting to control that person back? Check again and see if you are wanting to change or control that person. And could you let go of that sense of lacking control as best you can? And at this point, you might feel a slight release or a bigger release. So could you tune into that feeling of lightness, freedom, happiness, and allow that to transform the space between you and this person. What would this look like from a place of love? And could you just tune into that? And could you now, if you're ready, and you can later you can listen to this recording and go back and forth. So could you just allow this person to be as he or she is? Could you grant them their beingness? And check and see if there's any wanting approval from this person, wanting them to love you, wanting them to respect you, to validate you. You get the idea. And could you let go of that sense of lacking approval? And check and see if you are withholding your love from this person. Maybe there's a sense that You can influence them by withholding your love. For example, and could you let go of withholding your love from this person? And check again and see if there's any sense of lacking love from this person. And could you let go of that sense of lacking love? And check and see again if there's any disapproval of this person. And again, you might ask yourself if that disapproval is helpful in any way. And could you let go of the disapproval? And again, check and see if there's any feeling of lightness, freedom, happiness, anything like that. Could you give yourself to that? And send some love to that person as best you can. Could you send some love to that place where you're meeting? That togetherness of the two of you. And again, just do this as best you can. Could you send some love to yourself? Could you send some love to that person? Could you send some love to the two of you together? Allow that love to do its thing and transform. And could you open up to having only love and approval feelings for this person as best you can? And check and see if there's any sense of lacking safety, wanting to be safe around this person. Is that what seems to be happening? Remind yourself that wanting is lacking. And could you let go of lacking safety as best you can? And check and see if there's any wanting to make this person unsafe. Any wanting to threaten, harass, or intimidate them coming up in this moment. And just be honest with this. And could you let that go? And check again if there's any sense of wanting to be safe with this person. And could you just take a deep breath and let that go? Ah. And check and see if there's any wanting to make this person feel unsafe. Wanting to harass, intimidate, or threaten them. And could you let that go? You can now check and see if you might have a slight sense of more safety with this person. And if you do, could you tune into that? And allow the light of that space to shine on the situation between you and that person as best you can. And could you open up to only having safety, well-being, and trust? A sense of safety, well-being, and trust with this person. Wonderful. And check and see if there's any sense of wanting to reject or cut off from this person. Any sense of wanting to be separate from this person. Is that what seems to be happening? And could you let go of wanting to be separate from this person? And check and see if there's any sense of separation between you and this person. Lacking or wanting oneness. And could you let go of the sense of lacking oneness with this person and wanting to have it? And again, check and see if there's any sense of wanting to reject or cut off from this person. And could you, as best you can, let go of wanting to be separate from this person? And again, check and see if there's any sense of being separate from this person, or being rejected, being cut off by this person. And could you let go of the wanting oneness that this might have stirred up in you? And check and see again. You might feel more in tune with the oneness inside you. With a place where everything meets. And from this place, can you open up to the meeting, the oneness between you and this person? And as best you can, could you open up to having only a sense of oneness, of you or me with this person? And check and see, do you have any stories about this person or about your relationship to this person? A story might be very often consists of always or never. Like this person always behaves like this. This person never does this. This always happens when we meet. This never happens when we meet. So see if you can find any stories like that that comes up right now. And you might look for things to the contrary. Very seldom the always or the never really exists. Might seem like that. So does that story seem to be true? Is that what's apparently happening? And could you, as best you can, let go of that story? Could you open up to the meeting between you and that person being fresh? Could you open up to new beginnings in your relationship with this person? And could you send some love to the meeting between you? And let's check again for stories that always or that never. She never appreciates what I do. He never appreciates what I do. We always quarrel. Whatever stories might come up for you. And could you open up to those being stories? Could you let go of the story or the stories? And could you open up to freshness, to nowness between you? And let's do that one more time. Check and see if you can find any stories about that person or the relationship between you. And could you let go of that story? And check if and see if you have any story or any identity about who you are in the relationship between the two of you. And could you let go of identifying with that? Could you open up to the newness or the knowness, which is always available? Check and see if you are placing any identities on that person. And could you let go of placing that identity on them? And again, you might notice sense of more freedom, more lightness, more happiness. And from this place, could you allow that meeting of you to transform? Could you allow the light to shine on the meeting between you? And could you open up to seeing the light in that person as best you can? Could you open up even to seeing the divinity of that person and the divinity of your meeting together? Thank you. So that is a way of working with your relationship to a person. And it's good to remember that the meeting of two persons is just a happening. We are not really separate objects. They're more like waves meeting each other. And when you change what's inside of you, when you open to that, you also open to that person changing and the meeting between you changing.